Hi, welcome to Trading Truths, and as you may already know, this is a channel about forex trading where there's going to be absolutely no imaginary historical testing or anything like that. It's just me. I'm going to open my charts, I'm going to do my analysis, and then I'm going to project where I think the price is going to go, whether it's going to go high or low, and then after a while we'll come back and see what has happened and whether I was right or wrong. Now, this is a journey for all of us. I mean, you and me, both of us are going to learn as we go along. I might be wrong sometimes, I might be right sometimes, but it's going to be completely transparent. It's going to be the truth right up there right now. So I'll mark up my charts and I'll tell you what I'm thinking so that you know everything that's going on in my mind, you know everything that I'm doing on the charts, and then we'll see how it goes, whether I'm right or wrong. And if I'm right, then why was I right? We'll analyze that. If I'm wrong, then why was I wrong? And I really appreciate you watching this video. So I will also appreciate a lot if you shared your thoughts about trading and this video and this channel in the comment section. I would love to answer your question and also get insights and tips from you guys who are watching. So let's start. So as you can see in this chart, it's EURJPY, and I'm at the 4-hour chart. The reason I'm at the 4-hour is that I like to start by getting a big picture of what is going on. So where is the overall trend going? So 4-hour is, I feel, the ideal place to start, know what is happening with the price. And we have the chart here, and I've got RSI here. The reason I have RSI is because I feel from what I've learned over the years, RSI gives a very good indication thanks to divergence. Divergence means the chart showing something else and the RSI showing something else. Now, luckily for us, the divergence is right here for us to mark. Look at this. This is where the chart is showing, and this is what the RSI is showing. So clearly there's a divergence. Now the thing with divergence is that you don't know exactly when it's going to end. Let me just lower this a little bit. Yeah, this looks good. Okay, so now the thing is, when you have divergence between the price movement in the chart and the RSI, it means that something is going to change. The direction in which the price is going to change. So as soon as the diversion ends, I will expect this price to drop, but we don't know when it will end. For now, let's look at other things. So one of the things I want to see right away is what are the major levels in the 4-hour chart. Well, clearly this is one level where the price is taking support as well as resistance. So I'm going to mark it with a rectangle. Is going to also act as an area of support and resistance in the future, so it's important to mark it. I usually like to mark it from the body of the candle and not the wick. I find that a little more accurate. So let's put it over here. So this is one level. Now it's also good to have a look at smaller levels just to know what's going on. And here I see a level happening over here also. So let's mark that out with a slightly thinner level here. Yeah. And right now, I would say the price is moving within this area. This is the top resistance, which I'll mark out. The top resistance, and this is the bottom resistance right now. Well, this is the level in between. It's bouncing off this also as well as this. So let's see what are the trend lines in the 4-hour. One trend line that I see is here, and long-term trend lines that we need to look at. This trend line has already been broken. There was a retest, as you can see. And a retest is something that I find to be a good indication of further movement. So since it broke this trend line, then came back to test the trend line, there is a much higher possibility that it's now going to move up and away. This is historical testing. I'm not interested in this, but I'm just saying what I think. So what I'm interested in is this part now. This is where everything is going to be. We're going to now figure out what's going to happen in the next couple of hours. Now 4 hours, I think this is more or less all that I want to look at. See, there's a trend line that's happening over here, and now it'll get very confusing because my arrow for the divergence is also there. Let me just move this arrow up a little bit and then create this trend line. Let's take it from here to here. Now, after making this trend line, what's interesting is that we are seeing that the price is probably oscillating between these two trend lines. So wherever the price breaks out upwards or downwards. Now since it's in a more or less upward direction, it's obviously upward trend, there is higher probability that it will break out upwards, and when it does, I mean, that will be a good time to make a trade, put a trade, a long trade. Anyway, let's now get on to the next time frame that I want to look at, which is a 1 hour. Now let me put it on auto so that you can see it a little better. Yeah, so now as you can see, once we move from 4 hour to 1 hour, we see that there is further trends within the 1 hour trends. This is where the bigger picture and then getting a closer up picture and finally the point where you want to trade comes in. So 1 hour is is not where I put in my trades. This is again to see the trend that is happening. Now if you can see, the trend is upward again. Even in this small area over here, though it is going between two trend lines, is moving between these two, the trend is upward. It's got a higher high, higher low, but here it becomes a lower high and a higher low, and it's heading towards a higher high but being stopped by this resistance level. So right now we might be at the inflection point of this upward thrust, this going in the momentum of in the direction of the trend. I think it might be the point where it is going to turn back into a against the trend. This now is going to go against the trend. It's going to go downwards. As you can see, there's a lot of selling pressure here. This candle, right from this candle, you can see that the buyers are trying to move the price up, but the sellers are pulling it down. Same happens over here, and here it is very pronounced. This is almost turning into a doji, but the upper wick is much larger. So I would say this is almost the point where it's going to now go downward before it again moves upward. Let's see if we can get any levels, any other levels over here. Clearly this is one level. Let's mark this. Since this is 1 hour, we'll mark it with a green. No, a green, not a green. We'll mark it with a blue. This also becomes a blue. Right. So this is the 1 hour level. Any other levels that seem significant? I would say this is also a good level to mark. This one is also a good level to keep in mind. Yep, definitely right about here. Okay. So now what about the trend lines? There's a clear trend line from here. Let's do that. This is moving in this direction. Now what I do is I don't take it exactly from wick to wick or from body to body. I take the maximum touches. That's how it works best for me. And let's give this another color. We will give it maybe this remains a blue, and I will change the trend lines of 4 hours into purple. More sense? Yep. So here goes. It just became a shade lighter, I think. Okay, so now we have a trend line going over here, which it is respecting. It is using it as a support. And any other trend lines that look relevant here, this one is not exactly, this is more like a level. This is also a level. So I think we can do with these two trend lines. This one trend line at 1 hour. Let's now get into 30 minutes. 30 minutes is where it starts getting closer to the action. Now here's the upward trend hitting the support, and there was a good candle forming here with upward momentum. Now there's a decent candle forming with a downward momentum, but it's got a wick over here, which means there's still some buying pressure. We have to wait a little bit. So in half an hour, do I see any levels that are worthy of marking? Not really. They're almost the same for the 1 hour and the half an hour. Let me get into 15 minutes now. This is where all the action happens. This is where I get into deciding whether I'll go in for a trade or not. Okay, so now so now there is a little trend happening over here. If you can see, I'll just mark it out. Let's mark this out and we'll give it a green color because this is the closest. Now I'm going to use stay in the drawing tool so that without needing to click again and again we can do this. Here it goes. Here we are. So now in the 15 minutes it looks like it's going to move downwards. Now the question is, where will it go? It should reach this level because that is the next logical level that it will go to. But where will it finally go to? Can we make a trade here? I would like to now put now I don't need the RSI, so I'm just going to reduce this, and I would now like to put a Fibonacci retracement, a fib, and see what happens. Let's take this as point A. No, this is not working. This is not working. So move this. Let's do it from here. Point A, point B. Now if we look at this, let me just remove auto so that I can shift it down. So if we look at this trend, now if you look at the Fibonacci here, we've taken this as point A and this is point B. The retrace has been till 38. That means it should move up to minus 27. But we've got a solid layer of support, level of support resistance over here. So whether it breaks it or not is the question. Okay, now I would not take a trade at this point. I would wait to see what this does, whether it breaks through this level or it starts moving downwards. Now let me just hide this Fibonacci retracement and see what else we can do over here. Okay, let me just remove the latest trend lines too. They're a little disturbing right now. There it goes. Okay, so let's see. If I were to place a fib here, won't work. If I placed a fib here, then again it's the same thing. So this is just not amenable placing a Fibonacci retracement fib. It is right now not yet amenable for a trade, but since I'm doing this analysis, I'm definitely going to give my understanding of where it's going to move now. So let's get a closer look. Okay, so right after that little downward movement of the price, it's again gone back to test the resistance level, and it looks like it's going to break through. Let's see, because this is a pretty strong bearish candle. Now what I can do further is look at 5 minutes. At 5 minutes we see a really strong bearish candle. This was the previous one that came and that broke this level. Now this is okay. Let's have a look at the news. 15 hours ago, this is not going to impact. This has got some time. So okay, I have taken my decision as to where I see this going in the next hour or two. I see the price stopping over here right now, going back to this trend line and hitting this once again and moving down to this. So let me see if I can get something that will work. Just a second, I'm just looking for a okay, this looks good. Let me just use this then. Bars pattern. Okay, so this is what I see it doing right now. It's going to go back to this level, hit this up again, and then move down to this level. So it needs a little bit more of a bar pattern to finish it. Let me take, so this is how I think the price is going to move according to my assessment of the current situation in this chart of EURJPY. Now we're going to get back in a couple of hours and see how this works out, whether I was right or wrong. So we are back after a couple of hours, and as you can see, my prediction was absolutely wrong, where I thought that it would take this level as a resistance and go downwards. Instead it broke through the level, retested it, and is now moving upwards. Frankly, if I had been looking at the chart at the point where it broke through and it retested a little bit over here, I may have entered the trade here, or around here I may have entered, or definitely I would have entered somewhere over here once I saw that it was making a strong bearish candle. Let me just show this to you a little better. Here we are. Okay, so now what I had thought was that from here it would move downwards to this level and then again take this as resistance and then move overall, come to the second lower level over here. Instead it broke right through. We had stopped the recording at around this point. This is where we had stopped the recording, this point, and then immediately there was a big bullish candle moving far away from this level, and that should have been the indication that you're going to see some upward movement. It came back to retest somewhere near this level and then went up again and then came back for a second retest, this one much closer to this level, and then this has gone up. This would have been a really good move. We could have made quite a bit of pips over there. Let's see, this was suppose we had taken it somewhere over here. This is at least 70 pips. That's quite good. That's quite good. So 70 pips would have been. So okay, so now the thing is, yes, my assessment was not correct. Instead of going down, it has gone up the opposite way. But I had also mentioned that I would actually wait for this to either break it or bounce off it. And since we were at that moment we were recording, so we did neither. I didn't wait to see it. But if I had seen this move up and break away from this level, I would have definitely bet I would have definitely placed a long trade over here, not a short one as I had predicted. So yeah, the learning is that, as I had said before, it's not learning but something that we just need to look out for, is that when you are close to a level, you really don't know whether it's going to go break through and go over the level, or it's going to just bounce off. So you have to wait for this price movement to happen before you take any decision. So if we had waited and we had taken a decision somewhere over here, we would have got this upward move and made some good pips over there. Nevertheless, now what has happened is that now we have got one new level over here and another one here. These two levels are there. It has already reached a point where it is starting to move backward, so it might come back here, and with this kind of a momentum I see this moving upwards further, but that is for another video. This video is only about this markup of the chart and how this prediction, this pattern that I put over here, and well, it didn't work out, but there's definitely a learning here, and we will try to catch in the next video, we'll try to catch a chart in a more indicative situation where we can make out in a better way whether it's moving upwards or downwards, and then take a call what to do there. So until next time, thank you for watching, and this is a very interesting situation and we could easily see where this would go next. I'll just quickly try to see if I can do anything over here. So the best thing would be to put a fib from here to here, and it's worked out beautifully. It's come back to about 61 and it's gone to minus 61. Take profit 2. This is reversal, so I think it will move down all the way here now, but that's for some other video. I think it will move all the way down now, but that's for another video. I would have taken a short trade over here right now. I would have taken it, but not for this video. For the next one, we'll see what we can do. So alright, thank you for watching, and hope to see you in the next video. Do like, share and subscribe to get more from Trading Truths about Forex. Until next time, bye.